It's the most wonderful time of the year. The smell of gingerbread fills your nostrils. Colorful ornaments glow from the tree, and lights glimmer from around the world. Generosity fills the air, and carols echo down the streets. That's right, Christmas is coming to be upon us. And as it's approaching, some questions began to spring in my mind. Why are there so many traditions, and what are their backstories? Why is it such a favorite holiday by so many? My name is Sierra, and today I will be informing you on the history of Christmas, the traditions that come with it and their backstory, and why it's such a favorite holiday by so many. I didn't realize the importance of Christmas till about a couple years ago when I started doing charity work and celebrating it with my family. And that makes me a reliable source, and I've celebrated my whole life. So let's get to it. So the history of Christmas, it is on the date of December 25th, and it is for Christians, it is meant to celebrate the birth of Jesus. For others, it's just to celebrate each other and give joy to one another. But it was actually not started by all Christians. It was started specifically by Roman Christians in the year of 1336. But as we all know, over time, it is celebrated by much more people than just the Christians. An interesting fact about Christmas is even though we know the date, December 25th, that Christmas is on, we do not know the year. The Bible never states it, so it started being celebrated at a much later date, we assume. So the traditions, and what do each of those hold? What is their backstory? I'm going to be telling you about the Christmas tree, mistletoes, presents, and Santa. The Christmas tree, and this is stated by Harris, was used during winter solstice to remind the Christians that spring was coming again. The Christmas tree represents something different to Christians and non-Christians. To Christians, it represents the everlasting life of Christ, while for non-Christians, it represents the everlasting joy and fulfillment of that time of year. No one knows exactly when the Christmas tree came about, but it came a long time ago. All we know is that it started around the time Christmas started. The mistletoe, it actually was not meant for kissing purposes in the beginning. Quoted by Cooper, it possesses mystical powers to ward off evil spirits. That was its purpose in the beginning. There was a debate whether or not, by Christians mostly, to get rid of the mistletoe, but they decided not to. The kissing part of the mistletoe started in England in 1784, and it actually took place in the first writing of the musical, A Christmas Carol. Presents. Presents is such a big part of Christmas, and to Christians and non-Christians, it has such a similar meaning to give and receive, but for different reasons. Christians do it because that's what Jesus wants them to do. While for non-Christians, it's just to give and receive to anyone who they want to. It's a way to spread love and joy to one another. Santa. Who exactly is Santa? He's a real person. His actual name was Saint Nicholas, and he was alive during the 4th century. He had a background of wealth. His parents were very wealthy, and he grew up wealthy. But his parents passed away at a young age, so he inherited all that wealth. What did he do with it? He helped the poor. He gave kids presents who were poor, and he gave them in secret, which is why the idea of stocking came about. The parents did not like that he was going into their houses and giving them gifts, so he hid them in stockings. So, this is quoted by Harris. There are multiple reasons why it's favored by so many, but these are some of the top reasons. It is a season of love, giving, and receiving. Who doesn't love that stuff? Christmas is a time where that environment is just so present, which is why so many people love it. It is a time for friends and family to come together all at the same time. That does not happen very often. So this is why some people love it so much. The decorations and the tales are just too joyous to avoid. So that is another reason why people love it so much. The spirit and how everyone benefits from it. There are people who struggle during the time of year, but there are also so many who give to those people, which is why it's also a favorite holiday by so many. So, this upcoming season, remember the history of Christmas and what each tradition symbolizes. But the next time you drive by lights, I hope you remember this. And I taught you the history of Christmas, the traditions, and why it's such a favorite holiday. Thank you for listening. Bye!